Africa is home to 54 nations, each with its own currency. Yet despite this rich monetary diversity, none of these currencies is widely used for trade across the continent. Instead, the global giants, the US dollar, the euro, and other foreign currencies, dominate transactions. Why is this happening, and what does it mean for African economies? Today, I break down the hard truth. Our own money is being undervalued by our central banks, and it's time to reclaim the power of African currencies for intracontinental trade. Across Africa, from Accra to Lagos and Johannesburg to Nairobi, central banks manage our national currencies. Yet these institutions often allow our money to depreciate through mismanagement, inflationary policies, and an over-reliance on foreign currencies. The result? Our hard-earned money loses its value every day, and when it comes to trade, our nations look to the stability of the dollar or the euro rather than our own currency. Take Ghana, for example. The Ghanaian cedi is a symbol of national pride, yet in everyday transactions, even with neighboring countries, Ghanaians and foreign traders alike prefer using the dollar or the euro because these currencies are seen as stable and reliable. Similarly, in Nigeria, the naira struggles against market forces that undermine its value, forcing businesses to resort to dollars for import and export transactions. And in South Africa, the rand is often bypassed in favor of more widely accepted international currencies. This not only hampers intra-African commerce but also reinforces a dependency on external financial systems. Imagine if a Ghanaian merchant could pay for goods in Nigeria using the CDI without converting it into dollars first, or if a South African importer could settle transactions in the rand when trading with Egypt or Morocco. In countries like Egypt and Morocco, regional currencies are sometimes used for local trade, backed by strong monetary policies and consistent economic management. Africa, with its immense potential and abundant natural resources, should be no different. Yet the status quo persists. Our central banks and financial institutions have, over decades, allowed our national currencies to devalue. This mismanagement creates an uneven playing field where foreign currencies dictate the terms of trade. It's not just about exchange rates, it's about sovereignty. When we rely on external currencies, we relinquish control over our economic destiny. The time has come to change the narrative, to empower our currencies and embrace policies that stabilize and strengthen them. The future of African trade lies in our hands, with our money.
Africa's economic narrative has long been shaped by external forces. Colonialism, a dark chapter in our history, left deep scars on our continent. It imposed a system designed to extract resources, not to empower Africans. This legacy continues to haunt us today, manifesting in fragmented economies and weak financial systems. For centuries, our continent was carved up, its vast wealth siphoned off to fuel European empires. This exploitation left African economies heavily reliant on exporting raw materials. This dependence made us vulnerable to global price fluctuations, hindering sustainable growth. The colonial powers departed, but their economic grip remained. True liberation requires dismantling these colonial structures. We must forge our own path, one that prioritizes African prosperity and self-determination. This journey begins by acknowledging the lasting impact of colonialism on our economic realities. We must learn from this painful past. Only then can we create a future where African economies are vibrant, resilient, and truly independent. This is the challenge of our generation, and we must rise to meet it. The post-colonial era brought new challenges. Structural adjustment programs, often imposed by international financial institutions, promised economic salvation. Instead, they delivered bitter pills that exacerbated many of our existing problems. SAPs often mandated austerity measures, currency devaluation, and privatization of state-owned industries. These policies, while intended to promote economic growth, often led to social unrest and deepened poverty. Essential services like healthcare and education suffered from underfunding, further hindering human development. The promises of SAPs largely failed to materialize. Instead, they left a legacy of debt, dependency, and diminished economic sovereignty. The impact of these policies continues to cast a shadow on many African nations. We must learn from these missteps. It is imperative that future economic policies are crafted with African voices at the forefront. Our development solutions must be tailored to our unique contexts, not imposed from outside. One of the most enduring legacies of colonialism is the fragmentation of African economies. We trade more with former colonizers than with each other, hindered by weak infrastructure and a patchwork of currencies. This lack of financial integration hampers economic growth and perpetuates dependency. Imagine the possibilities if we could seamlessly transact across borders, leveraging the full potential of our continent's diverse resources and talents. A unified Africa, economically integrated and financially empowered, is not a dream. It is a necessity. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers a beacon of hope. By breaking down trade barriers and promoting intra-African commerce, AfCFTA has the potential to transform our economic landscape. This landmark agreement is a testament to the power of Pan-African collaboration. We must seize this opportunity to build a more integrated Africa. By fostering regional cooperation and dismantling the barriers that divide us, we can unleash a wave of economic prosperity that will benefit all Africans. True economic liberation requires monetary sovereignty. A unified African currency, one that reflects our shared history and aspirations, is not just a symbol, it is a strategic imperative. A common currency would reduce transaction costs, facilitate cross-border trade, and enhance our collective bargaining power in the global marketplace. It would also foster a sense of unity and shared destiny, laying the foundation for greater economic integration. Of course, the path to a single currency is complex and will require careful planning and coordination. But the potential benefits are too great to ignore. We must approach this challenge with the same determination and vision that fueled our struggles for political independence. The time has come for Africa to control its own financial destiny. Let us work together to create a monetary system that serves the needs of all Africans, paving the way for a more prosperous and equitable future.